Hello everybody and welcome to another mystery box function challenge. In the purple box there is some mystery math and your challenge is to figure out what it is. Use the link in the description to try this out, and when you think you've got an answer, come on back and see if we get the same thing. Okay, we shall begin with a 0. So 0 gives us 0.5. How about a 1? 1 gives us some non-repeating decimal. So are we looking at a square root function or a trigonometric function? How about a 2? Okay, now we've got a non-repeating negative number. It's a nice curve. How about a 3? Looks like we're down near a negative 0.5. I'm actually starting to think trig now. We started at a 0.5 and now we're near pi. We're really close to negative 0.5. In fact, let's put in an approximation for pi. And we're even closer, negative 0.49999. Okay, and do we start going up again as we go further? Yes, looks like it. Let's do some negative numbers here. I'm going to do a negative 1.5, which is going to be close to negative pi over 2. And that's close to 0. Okay. And then let's do a negative 3.14. Oops. So an approximation of negative pi, and we're at basically negative 0.5 again. Okay. So do you have an idea which trig function this might be? Looks like the waveform you get with sine and cosine. And if we think about the unit circle, remember we're putting in this angle starting at an angle of 0. And at 0, it looks like we're at the highest point that this one has. So the n coordinate here would be the point 1 comma 0, and the x is the cosine and the y is the sine. So the highest point this gets to, 1 is the biggest value you can get here on these coordinates on a unit circle. So it looks like cosine. It's starting high and then the cosine drops down. The x gets less and less as it goes around the circle. And then it goes into the negative territory, which is what we do here. And when we get all the way to pi, it's at as negative as that can get, which on the unit circle is negative 1, 0. And then it keeps going around, and the x starts getting bigger and bigger again. And that looks like what's happening here. So this appears to be cosine. Usually, if you just have cosine of x, it would go from positive 1 to negative 1. And it looks like we're going from positive 1/2 to negative 1/2. So I think what's been done here to shrink this amplitude, to squash this, is just to multiply it by 1/2. So just to think about that, at pi, the cosine would be at negative 1. So the cosine of pi would be negative 1. And then you multiply that 1/2 times a negative 1. You would get a negative 0.5. And that's what we're getting here at pi, that negative 0.5. So I'm pretty confident about this one. Let's go ahead and look. Yeah, there it is. So 1/2 times the cosine of x, and we can graph that. And there it is, that beautiful waveform of the cosine function, highest at 0 and then going on from there, but just squished down, made a little shallower by that fractional multiplier. Well, how did that go for you? Did you get cosine? Let me know. Thanks, everybody.